dating PNP chief na si Police General Romel Francisco Marbil na 1,286 opisyal ng PNP ang naapektuhan sa kampanya laban sa illegal na droga mula Hulyo 2016 hanggang Hunyo 2022. Sa bilang na ito, 312 tauhan ng PNP ang nasawi sa mga operasyon ng pulisya, habang 974 ang nasugatan. Dagdag pa rito, sinabi ni Police General Marbil na maraming pulis ang hindi lamang nagdusa sa pisikal na pinsala, kundi naharap din sa mga legal at administratibong suliranin. Mahigit 200 tauhan ang nahaharap sa mga kasong kriminal na may kaugnayan sa pagpapatupad ng kampanya laban sa illegal na droga. Bukod dito, kabuuang 195 pulis ang natanggal sa serbisyo at 398 ang nasa proseso ng pagtanggal, habang mahigit 20 pulis ang nananatili sa kulungan bilang bahagi ng mga kasong kaugnay sa giyera kontra droga. Sa mahaba at malagim na kampanya laban sa illegal na droga, lumalabas ang katotohanang marami sa ating kapulisan ay naging biktima rin ng bulok at masamang sistema. Maraming buhay nila ang nabuwis, marami din na nasaktan. Ang iba naman ay nahaharap sa mga kasong kriminal o administratibo. Ang iba ay nasa kulungan na. It was promised with the many pronouncements that they will be protected and taken care of by the former president, but unfortunately, based on record by the PNP, no monetary or legal assistance was done. Ang mga pulis na ito na nasaktan, napatay, nakasuhan, natanggal at nakulong dahil inakala nilang tamang kautusan ang pikit matang sumusunod sa kanilang commander-in-chief at immediate superior. Ang mga iba't ibang mga pahayag na nakaraang administrasyon ay lalong nagbigay ng pagkalito sa ating mga kapulisan. The second level uniformed personnel with the ranks of patrolman, patrolwoman to police lieutenant colonel were mostly affected by these orders. These thousands of policemen must be given justice as well. Their cases must be reviewed and validated. Sa harap ng paglilinglang na ito, nais kong ipanukala sa pamagitan ng komiting ito na tulungan natin ang ating mga kapulisan, isulong natin ang pagkakaroon ng isang special account sa proposed national budget na maaaring gamiting ayuda para sa ating mga law enforcers na nangangailangan ng tulong. Alalahanin nating nahaharap ang marami sa kanila sa samot-saring suliranin dahil sa elemento ng instigation mula sa nakakataas sa kanila. Pinaniwala silang tama ang ginagawa nila, makabubuti di umano sa bayan. We need to recalibrate the mindset of our policemen. Biktima din ang iba sa kanila. Layunin ng ating kasalukuyang investigasyon na talakayin ang ilang mahalagang usapin, kabilang ang mga sumusunod: ang balangkas ng patakaran at legal na batayan ng paglabas ng Command Memorandum Circular No. 16-2016, mga panukalang batas na magbibigay ng solusyon upang matiyak na ang mga insidente ng pagkamatay sa mga engkwentro ng pulisya ay sapat na natutugunan. Mga remedyo para sa mga tauhan ng PNP na nahaharap sa mga kasong kriminal at administratibo dahil lamang sa pagsunod sa utos ng kanilang mga nakakataas. At mga panukalang batas upang limitahan ang paggamit na nakamamatay na puwersa o use of deadly force ng mga pulis at iba pang mga nagpapatupad ng batas. Tatalakayan din sa ating investigasyon ang isyu ng mga pulis na sangkot sa bentahan ng droga na tinatawag na Ninja Cops at mga tiwaling pulis na gumawa ng krimen sa ngalan ng kampanya ng gobyerno para sa paglilinis ng droga. Pinasasalamatan natin ang ating speaker at ang ating pong majority floor leader sa pagbibigay ng otorisasyon sa committee upang isagawa ang investigasyong ito. Pinasasalamatan din natin ang presensya ng ating mga kagalang-galang na kasamahan at mga resource persons sa ating pagdinig ngayon. Umaasa ako sa isang makabuluhang talakayang kasama kayong lahat. Maraming salamat po. So, the next item ng ating pong agenda for the day, we have invited the GPNP, Police General Romel Marbil, but unfortunately, wala siya today. He will be represented by Police Brigadier General Jean Pajardo. And I think you have a opening remarks for the GPNP. Yes, okay. Ma'am, you are recognized, please.
Unang-una sir ay pinapaabot po ng ating GPNP yung kanyang paumanhin sa hindi po niya pagdalo ngayong araw dahil kailangan po niyang bumiyahe po sa Mindanao para personal pong bisitahin yung dalawang pulis po natin na nabaril nung nakaraang Biyernes po during a bypass operation at puntahan po yung burol ng dalawa pa pong pulis natin na napatay in the said operation po. So I'm here in my capacity as the PNP spokesperson and I will be representing po our GPNP. So good morning to our Honorable Chairperson Dan Fernandez, esteemed members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety, distinguished guests, fellow resource person, please allow me to read the prepared opening statement of the Chief PNP Police General Romel Francisco Marbil, and I quote, I'm here today on behalf of the Philippine National Police to address critical issues concerning the personnel who were profoundly affected in the line of duty during the previous administration's drug campaign. The men and women of the PNP have consistently place their lives at risk to uphold the law and ensure public safety. It is our duty to provide them with the necessary support and protection, particularly for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. From July 2016 to June 2022, numerous officers faced criminal charges as a direct consequence of their involvement in anti-illegal drugs operation. Unfortunately, some officers were dismissed from service. Others were sanctioned for various reasons, and many sustained injuries and even lost their lives during these risky missions. During the height of the anti-drug campaign, police officers implicated in anti-drug operations were made to believe that they will be given amnesty or pardon along with assurances of government support. However, no official documentation substantiates the fulfillment of these commitments in a way that adequately address their needs. This lack of action has left many police officers without hope, facing the aftermath of the campaign without the necessary support that they were led to believe would be provided. Through the PNP Legal Assistance Program, we extended support to PNP personnel facing charges from 2017 to 2022. However, the extent of legal assistance provided was insufficient in the light of number of personnel who face service-related cases stemming from the anti-illegal drugs campaign. Unfortunately, some officers opted to leave the service or go on absence without leave rather than confront these legal challenges. The situation underscores the urgent need for reform and systemic support for our police officers. They are not immune to the consequences of their action. Like all citizens, they deserve to be treated with fairness and dignity. As we work towards a more balanced and humane approach to law enforcement, we must acknowledge the sacrifices made by our personnel and ensure they have the necessary support to carry out their duties without fear of unjust repercussions. We are grateful for the committee's attention to these matters, and we look forward to collaborating with this esteemed chamber to find solutions that will guarantee our police officers receive the support they need and the justice they deserve. Thank you very much and good morning to everyone. End of quote. Maraming salamat po, sir.
Maraming salamat po, Police Brigadier General Jean Pajardo. Siguro, We'll be also giving opportunity to General Constancio T. Chinayog Jr. Meron po kayong opening remarks, sir? Sige, go ahead, please.
None, sir, none.
Are you going to present something or a brief statement? Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, sir. Indeed, sir, this is to confirm that based on our records, we have a lot of police officers, 1,286 who are affected in the line of duty from July 2016 to June 2022. And if I may give some specific details, sir, 312 indeed lost their lives, while 974 were injured. That makes up the 1,286. And for the anti-illegal drugs operations alone, a total of 234 PNP uniform personnel were affected. Specifically, 47 uniform personnel were killed during war drug operations, while 187 were wounded. So, it goes to show, sir, that during the previous administration, it's an evidence that many police careers were sacrificed, many police lives were lost.
Thank you, General Chinayog, no? And indeed, nakita natin that hindi lamang po pala yung mga kababayan natin ang mga nabibiktima. And of course, yung ating pong mga members ng ating pong PNP organization were also affected by these war on drugs. And basically, makita po natin yung mga involved dito. We have to categorize them as well. We need to validate and of course, makita po natin kung talagang may involvement sila, biktima ba talaga sila. Can you kindly tell us, General Chinayog, out of those na may kaso na 234, meron kang binanggit na 234, di ba? Na involved sila doon sa kaso ng war on drugs. Yung 234 ongoing yung kanilang case or na-dismiss na to?
So the 234 figure is made up of the killed. Yes, and 47 are killed and 187 were wounded, sir. So that
987 wounded.
187, sir. 187 po.
Di ba 1,286 yung total ng wounded and killed?
Opo, sir.
So meron tayong 214 na nakasuhan, di ba? Based on the pronouncement of the chief PNP, 1,286. Am I correct?
Tama po, sir.
Okay. So, ang nakasuhan naman po, ang na-dismiss naman ay 214.
No, sir, no. The dismissed personnel due to illegal drugs cases is 221, sir.
221.
Opo, sir.
So, hindi pa natin nakakategorize kung they were, kasi kailangan natin malaman dito kung sino mga talagang biktima lang, no? Dahil doon sa wrong, alleged wrong orders, no? Dahil nga nakakalito yung order during that time, di ba? Were you already validated this? Because may pronouncement din si General Marbil noong August 14, 2024 at sinasabi niya dito that our anti-illegal drugs campaign is not only effective but also aligned with the principle of justice and human rights. So, bali sinasabi niya dito that a new memorandum circular will be issued nung August pa to, and I was reading the statement of the chief PNP na sinasabi niya that they were going to issue another memorandum circular. Nakapag-issue na ba ng memorandum circular ang ating chief? Ito nakalagay dito para at least you will understand. The panel will be led by the Office of the PNP Deputy Chief for Operation, Lieutenant General Michael John Dubria, while the members will be composed of representatives from the PNP Directorates for Operations, Investigation, Intelligence, and Community Relations, Internal Affairs Service, and Human Rights Office. So, nagkaroon na ba ng memorandum circular about this involving the Human Rights Office?
We have a representative from the Directorate for Operations.
Sige, please. Sir.
Your Honor, good morning. From the Directorate for Operations, Police Colonel Ruben Balones,
Yes, Colonel.
Chief Law Enforcement Division. Sir, for the information of the body, we have finalized the campaign plan, the new PNP Anti-Illegal Drugs Campaign Plan 2024-2028. We are just doing a due diligence on this campaign plan, and all our units were made to submit their comments, final comments. Actually, it's final comments. It is part of the 3 comments that we are seeking in finalizing this campaign plan. The campaign plan contains the value for human dignity, human rights. Primordial concern is human rights and in our implementation of this campaign plan. Thank you, sir.
Colonel Balones, kasi dito sa inilunsad nating campaign nung nakaraang administrasyon, buwapatak dito kasi that the first issue that was launched was the Oplan Tokhang, correct?
Yes, sir.
After ng Oplan Tokhang, itinigil yun temporarily, di ba? Noong 2017, and it was relaunched. Sa relaunching nito, lumabas yung Oplan Tokhang, Oplan Double Barrel, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Sinama dito yung high value target.
Yes, sir.
Yung last version nito, yung double barrel final version. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So, will you agree with me that in 2016, na nilaunch to, it was stopped. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So, nung tinigil yung Oplan Tokhang, kasi ang sinasabi dito, there was not in line with the existing laws. So, pwede ba nating sabihin sa committee na to that there were laws that was violated during the Oplan Tokhang because it was stopped precisely to be aligned with the existing law?
So, to the chair, sir, Your Honor, the mention there was not a violation of law, but rather there was no national policy on Tokhang. That was because PADS was not in existence yet. The Philippine Anti-Drug Strategy.
So, kung walang policy on Oplan Tokhang, why was it implemented in the first place?
It was the pronouncement of the President that they implemented through our CPNP then to implement double barrel.
Okay. So, sige, i-recognize muna natin si Congressman Plato. Before we ask the, yung mga naging victims ng, nung war on drugs on the side of the policemen. Sige, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, our dear colleagues and our esteemed guests. Magandang umaga po. Mr. Chair, with a total of 1,286 personnel of the PNP who were affected in the line of duty by the war on drugs of the Duterte administration, are these 1,286 police officers were actually needing support regardless of the nature of their involvement? There are reports that some PNP personnel are allegedly involved. They're involved too in drug trade and other illegal activities, more so in extrajudicial killings. The drug trade, it would require specific statements or clarifications from General Marbil, PNP, for the PNP regarding your stance on PNP personnel facing allegations of misconduct. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Siguro kay ano na lang yan, Gerald Jim Pardo.
Mr. Chair, to answer the question, sir, of our honorable sir, yung pong binabanggit po natin na provisions po ng legal assistance is referring lang po ito dun sa service-related charges po. If a certain police officer will be charged for a certain offense because of his own doing, meaning not in the actual performance of his duty, this is not covered doon po sa pinupush po natin na legal assistance po. So doon po sa sinasabi po, sir, na 1,286 na figures po, these are the wounded and killed PNP personnel who participated during the anti-illegal drugs operation po, sir.
Okay, so Congressman Charon, do you want to add something?
Yes, after the chairman's pass.
Okay. Siguro iyan muna natin yung mga victims, ano? Andito yung mga biktima, no? Members, siguro let's recognize muna sila. Yung mga wounded in police operations, we have invited them as well. Para at least malaman po natin ano yung mga ibinigay na tulong, no? Support sa mga wounded. Kasi lumalabas dito, meron tayong how many wounded? Oh yes, so ilan yung wounded?
974, sir.
Yun, 974 wounded. So si PMS Jose Petras III, andito po si sir, you are recognized to give your side of story. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and good morning, sir, ma'am. I am Police Executive Master Sergeant Jose Petras III from Santa Barbara Police Station, Pangasinan PPO, Police Regional Office 1. Sir, ma'am, during the bypass operations on January 29, 2017, it was a legitimate bypass operation with coordination to the PDEA. I was assigned to be the arresting officer together with the possessor buyer and a confidential informant. After the transaction, I was to arrest the suspect, and I identified myself to be a police officer, but the suspect suddenly stabbed me on my right chest, sir. After that, I was brought to hospital in Dagupan City, and after the documentations of the bypass operations, I received a financial assistance, sir, Mr. Chair.
So yung financial assistance mo nanggaling sa police?
So it was deposited in my ATM, so I assume that it came from the PNP, sir.
Yun yung account mo ng PNP?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you were helped by the PNP organization?
Yes, sir, because the documents I submitted to the PNP, sir. And subsequently, the financial assistance was deposited in my ATM, sir, Mr. Chair.
If I may, magkano yung natulong sa'yo?
I received 100,000, sir.
Okay. So saan ang tama mo?
On my upper lip chest, sir, Mr. Chair.
Malapit sa puso?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So how many months ka,
The attending physician, sir, give me a 30 days recovery period, sir, Mr. Chair.
So 30 days ka na sa hospital?
No, sir, I requested to recover in my home, sir, because I cannot bear the environment inside the hospital, sir.
During that operation, yung na-apprehend ba yung suspect or napatay din?
So, it was arrested, Mr. Chair, during the follow-up hot pursuit, sir.
So walang namatay sa kanila.
No, sir. They were incarcerated after the filing of the case, sir. The appropriate case, violations of RA 9165 and a assault of agent of person of authority, sir. That the two cases that were filed against the suspect, sir.
Sige. Okay. So thank you so much, Sergeant, no?
Police Executive Master Sergeant Peter, sir.
Executive Master Sergeant. Kasi Petras, wala ka na ibig sasabihin?
That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. We have here also Sergeant Rachel. Rachel ang pangalan mo?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Rachel Canuno? Cancino?
Cancino po, Your Honor.
Rachel, ang pangalan mo?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Sir. Rachel, sir. Can you kindly tell us please tell us your story?
Good morning, sir, Your Honor. I'm Police Staff Sergeant Raquel Cancino from Pangasinan PPO Pro 1. I'm assigned at San Carlos City Police Station. Bali, ako po rito ay isang victim po ng pamaril po noong June 6, 2017 po, Your Honor. Incoming po ako nung nangyari po yung Your Honor, yung pamaril po sa akin at yung isang kasamang kong pulis po, Your Honor, is Intel PNCO po. Bali, nalatdan ko po siya na taga-andusay po sa gilid ng kalsada po, Your Honor. At nung lapitan ko po siya, Your Honor, meron pong lumapit sa akin na concerned citizen po na sinabi po sa akin na yung puting van po, Your Honor, ang bumangga at bumaril po sa kanya, Your Honor. At ako po ay agad-agad ko pong hinabol po yung sasakyan po, Your Honor. At kung malapitan ko na po sila po, Your Honor, ay pinagbabaril na rin po ako, Your Honor. At sa kasalukuyan po ng follow-up operation po, meron po tayong nakasuhan po na 3 po, Your Honor, na sa pamaril po, Your Honor. At ongoing pa po yung trial po namin, Your Honor.
Okay, so tinutulungan ka naman ng ating organization.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay, outside help. Meron ka bang tulong na nakukuha outside?
Wala na po.
Wala ka nakukuha. Tinamaan ka ba ng
Yes po, Your Honor.
Saan ka tinamaan?
Sa left side knee and right side knee po. Bali, 3 po yung tama ko po, Your Honor.
3, yung tama mo.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay. Ano yung baril na ginamit daw sa'yo, sabi ni Chairman?
Bali, 3 po silang bumabaril po sa akin po, Your Honor. At yung puro short firearms po yung ginamit po, Your Honor.
Chairman Barbers.
Tanungin ko lang. Hindi, kasi, so hinabol mo, tapos pinagbabaril ka.
Yes po, Your Honor. Kasi nakamotor din po ako nung
Nakasakay sila sa van.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So paano mo nalaman 3 yung bumabaril sa'yo?
Nung nabasag po yung salamin po, Your Honor, doon ko po sila nakita po, Your Honor. Kasi napalapit po ako sa kanila po.
Ilan yung nasa loob ng van?
Ang pagkakalam ko po, Your Honor, is 5 or 4 to 5, Your Honor.
4 to 5. So yung binagbabaril mo yung sakay ng van?
Bali, nakaputok pa po ako nung Your Honor. Kaso nga lang po, natumba na rin po ako, Your Honor, sa bilis ng takbo.
May tinamaan ka sa kanila?
Wala na po, Your Honor.
Sige. That's all, Mr. Chair.
So wala tinamaan, wala kayo na sa kabila.
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala. At kayo, actually, kayo pa yung tinamaan.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Alright. So yung kaso nasa na ngayon? Nasa na yung kaso ngayon?
Bali, on trial po sa Branch 56 San Carlos po. San Carlos City po.
Okay. Chairman Karaps, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Police Staff Sergeant Cancino.
Yes
Tama?
po, Your Honor.
Yung mga bumaril sa'yo, di ba may case ngayon, pending case, sabi mo?
Yes, sir.
Sino yung kinasuhan? Mga pulis din ba?
Hindi po, Your Honor, yung mga gun for hire po, Your Honor.
Gun for hire. Okay.
So, pakinggan naman po natin si...
Clarification lang, Mr.
okay,
Chair.
go ahead, Chairman.
Gun for hire to, hindi to drug related.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So hindi to bypass, hindi to ano.
Hindi po, Your Honor.
So nung nakita mo lang na merong nakahandusay sa kalsada, hinabol mo.
Yes po, yes po, Your Honor.
So without knowing, nakita mo lang, natumba, tapos hinabol mo siya.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Because the reason why I asked this, Mr. Chair, is because dapat ma-clarify natin.
Yes.
Kasi kung ano yung drug-related sa hindi drug-related.
Yes.
While we of course are concerned about yung ating mga membro ng PNP na napapasabak sa ganyang klaseng inkwentro na kung saan ay yung karamihan ay kung hindi nai-injure ay namamatay, siguro dapat i-separate natin sa ating paggawa ng report kasi yung tulong na pinaplano ng ating komite na magdagdag ng sapat na pondo para sa legal assistance for all our PNP personnel should be based, of course, primordial reason is the wounded or killed in action, meaning legitimate police operations. Yun ang ano. I don't know how perhaps the PNP can
Classify.
help us kung paano how to classify that. Kasi halimbawa, by bust operation. Binaybust nyo yung drug suspect. Pero wala kayong coordination sa PIDEA. How will that now be treated? The law is very clear that all anti-illegal drug operations must be first coordinated with PIDEA. So kung hindi ba kino-ordinate sa PIDEA at na-bypass, nagkaroon ng inkwentro, namatay, nasugatan, paanong treatment doon? It's just a question that I'd like to throw to the committee so that when we finally come to a point to write our committee report, meron tayong recommendations, Mr. Chair.
Yes, ito, Chairman Barbers, nakalagay dito, submitted by the PNP, yung mga PNP personnel who died from 2016 to 2022 through shooting by type of offense na drug-related. So, submitted sa atin to, I'll be giving the copy to all the members at para for your perusal. Sige, Congressman
Thank you, Chairman.
Raps.
Anyway, before I ask Police Staff Sergeant again, Casino, actually not only those who died and wounded, also those police officials, whether kahit mga PNCO, we are also victim of such campaign during the previous administration. So, marami po yan. Marami pong mga forms of violation of the rights, Marami po yan. For example, yung mga police na pinatay din. Di ba? Because they're being accused that they're involved in illegal drugs. And the proof is their names is listed in the detectives list. Tapos, kailangan ma-check natin tsaka makuha yung data dun. Tsaka maimbestigahan. Ano na ba ngayon yung status ng mga yun? Kahit po sabihin pa natin na those in the list and was killed are really involved, Really involved in that in the drug trade. But still, they have the right. Diba? Yan, for example, ganyan. Second is, those names listed in the detectives list that was assigned sa malalayo. Then pagdating na doon, pinatay. Diba? Marami yan. So, we have to get that list and documents. For example, I will cite you one example, Mr. Chairman. Sa amin galing, yung Colonel Rapis, nasa detectives list, nirelieve, inassign doon sa Zamboanga. Doon na siya inubutan. Until now, the case is unsolved. Unlike here now, in front of us, of course, are all our heroes, in line of duty. And they received such support from the previous administration and even in this administration. But yung sa akin, my concern is
those police officers being victimized. Mamaya po, i-discuss sa inyo yung ilang mga data and to prove you that indeed, ang dami pong police officers na matitino, magagaling, just because they don't believe on such program. And some of those are politically, quote-unquote, inclined. Dun sa mga political opponents are being victimized. Mamaya po, I will discuss on that. Now, Police Staff Sergeant,
Chairman, bago ka lumayo doon sa issue na, I wanted to show something lang.
tapusin mo na yung kasi, no? Balik ko lang.
May relation to doon sa sinabi mo.
Hindi, mamaya, pinakita ko lang yun just to make the point that all those witnesses that are now in front of us are witnesses that was wounded in line of duty. Tama? In line of duty, legitimate operations against drugs. Di ba? Illegal drug trade. Now,
Kasi before you proceed,
ito yung mga namatay, di ba, ng mga police officers in line of duty, legitimate drug operations. Now, doon kay Casino, kasi ano lang ako doon, medyo curious, kasi di ba, may nakita mo na baril. Tama? Tapos, to the rescue ka. Tama po?
Yes, yes, sir.
Sino yung nakita mong binaril?
Yung kasama ko po na Intel Operatives po, Your Honor. Class
Intel operative ng
San Carlos.
San Carlos.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, binaril yung pulis na yon.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Namatay.
Namatay po, Your Honor.
Namatay.
Yes,
Okay. So, sino yung police officer na yon na namatay?
Police Corporal Jimbo Agtara po, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, in that case, in that killing of that police officer, ano yung motive that was established?
Ang pagkakaalam ko po dyan, Your Honor, is may nag-contact po yata siya ng surveillance po, Your Honor. At
Hindi, ganito muna. Ayan, yung pagkakaalam mo. But what is the official findings? Kasi we have to check that Kung he's conducting surveillance operation, for what? Now, next is, bakit, sabi mo ngayon may kaso, di ba? You have a pending case with regards to the 3 alleged assailant. Tama?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, paano mo natutukoy na yung 3 mismo? Yun sila.
Yung isa po doon po, Your Honor, is na nakilala ko po talaga, Your Honor. At
How did you know him?
yung pamaril po sa akin po, Your Honor. At kasi nilabas po niya yung body niya po niya, Your Honor, doon sa passenger side po, Your Honor.
So, na-identify mo, na-idean mo, nung nagkabarilan na.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, mga gun for hire, na-establish ngayon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Gun for hire connected in what? Sa ano?
Sa drugs po, Your
Sa
Honor.
drugs. Okay, anyway. So, most probably, but of course, this is not conclusive. Ito lang yung maring teorya, kaya kailangan natin makuha yung case na yan. So, maring teorya is, nagsasurveillance yung police na yon, yung namatay ba? Namatay siya?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung namatay, nagsasurveillance in relation to drug operation. Tama. But of course, it all still depends on the actual investigation and the motive established in that killing, di ba? Tama.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, dapat lang talaga yung mga namatay na mga nasugatan in line of duty, dapat talaga suportahan because we want to encourage our police personnel and officers not to do their duty diligently at the same time and for the love of country, for peace and order, no? So, ako, I salute all those victims, no? Or not victims, but all those police officials that was wounded and some of them killed in line of duty and in legitimate operations. Dapat talaga suportahan. But again, my also concern is those police officials that was dismissed, that was incarcerated, that was some of them died because they are in the list or adult terrorist list. Yun po yung isang concern ko dito. Kasi mamaya't maya po, Mr. Chairman, as I have said, I will present to you some data with regards to, medyo, ito, mabuti nandito yung Napolcom, no? Para magkaalam-alaman na. Kasi, early part pa kasi ng 2016 eh. Ibig sabihin, that time, those allegedly in the terrorist list ng mga police officials, hindi pa talaga naman proven eh. Kasi kakaupo lang ni Duterte. But nandun sila sa listahan. And unfortunately, some of them were killed. No? Nirelieve, inassigned, pagdating doon sa assignment, malalayo, patay. And I mentioned about a certain Colonel Rapis from my home province. Allegedly, involving drugs, nasa drug list ni Duterte, inassign sa Zamboanga, sa Mindanao, few months after, namatay. So that's only example. And other police officials also, na kinasuhan or pinaimbestigahan, tapos may admin case. Unfortunately, some of those ang nakakatawa pa dahil hindi na sumunod sa quota. Kulang ang quota.
Ano ka?
Eh, the mere quota, tinatakan agad na related, na involved sa drug trade. Dahil kulang ang quota. So, Mr. Chairman, again, mamaya po, after siguro ng mga witnesses, I will present to you just one of the many cases, no? One of the many cases na kawawa po. Kawawa. Well, in fact, yung isa pa pala, Mr. Chairman, mayroon ba nga mga police officials yun sa Piaw that time? No? They narrated to me. No? Nagkataon lang na taga-amin, magje-general pa, kawawa, class 84. Nilagay doon sa Piaw. Tapos pinapauwi. Kulang lang humawak doon sa gate na hindi lumabas sa krame because they know for the fact that pag lumabas sila doon, patay sila. Just like what happens in all those, some of those officials. And daming kaso. Oh, Mr. Chairman, I will also mention, Colonel Ebrio, now former Chief of Police of Bacolod City, now General. Kawawa rin yun. Biktima rin yun. I do not know him. I do not know him, his background. But gusto ko nga, Mr. Chairman, next hearing, papatawag ko yan. Why? Because he was relieved in Bacolod City because of that failed ambush of the number one councilor of Bacolod City during the time. Fortunately, nabuhay. A certain councilor, Kanotan, the owner of Compistuan, a very popular high resort in Negros Occidental and Bacolod City. Inambush, nabuhay. Of course, being the victim is a councilor, what will I do as a chief of police? I make sure the safety of that councilor, pinadala ng police para ma-secure. Baka abutan pa sa ospital. Nalaman ni Duterte. Few days after, nandun sa LPC Hotel, sa Bacolod City, nag-grant. Nandun pa yung chief of police. Making sure the security of the president. Nag-grant. Pinagalitan. Pinagmumura in public. Yung Colonel Obrio that time. Few days after, pinarelieve. Because of what happened in Kanotan. But, for the record, the name of Kanotan was delisted few months after. By whom? By the president. Because it was recommended by Espinido. When Espinido was assigned Bacolod City, clear po yung pangalan. Ano ngayon yung he never even asked for apology to that police officer. Ngayon, ewan ko lang, general na yun, but napihaw ka because you're just doing your job, hindi mo alam na mga operatiba yon galing Manila or galing somewhere else. Di ba? Yung mga ganon. Kaya, Mr. Chairman,
So, in other words,
maraming reason.
Chairman Collapse, they are also victims.
Yeah. Well, but,
Why not move
Mr. Chairman,
Para ma-invite
in
sila.
particular, but I have a lot of police officers to be invited and even a Polcom next hearing. Now, Mr. Chairman, I move to invite, I do not know now if he is now general or retired na. Hindi pa.
General Pardo,
Ano po?
o si General Torre?
Sir, class 95 po. He's currently the Deputy Chief of the PPDC, sir. Holding the rank of Police Colonel, sir.
Police colonel pa rin?
Yes, sir.
Saan siya naka-assign?
Sir, sa PPDC, sir.
Police colonel pa rin?
Yes po, sir.
So will be
7 ka ma'am, di ba?
96 po, sir.
96?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
95 siya, Colonel pa rin siya.
colonel pa rin siya?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, Mr. Chairman, I move that we invite Police Colonel Ebrio on the next hearing.
Okay, we'll be inviting Colonel
mamaya po.
the next hearing.
Mamaya. Again, Mr. Chairman, I just want to state na, kung sinasabi ko, we need to support all those killed, the families of all those killed and wounded police officers. Saludo ako sa kanila because they died in line of duty defending this country against illegal drugs. But still, Mr. Chairman, hindi po natin dapat makalimutan yung mga police officials na biktima din. Well,
Yes.
some of them, kinamatayan na lang yung kaso nila sa Napolcom. And ngayon, some of them, may mga pending cases doon sa on appeal sa CEC, ang iba siguro nasa Court of Appeals.
So sinasabi mo, Chairman Caraps, there are those na mga police officials that suffered as well, natanggal sa serbisyo because of they were listed on the drug list?
Yes! Yung sinasabi ko nga eh. Now, you want to discuss it? I will discuss it.
I'm just confused kasi a while ago we were discussing yung mga victims that may mga nasugatan, namatayan, and this one that you are trying to mention right now are those policemen who were dismissed or either may kaso pa right now because they were listed on the drug list.
Yes, correct. Well, in fact, ito for the record, I will not mention muna yung name. Well, in fact, yung isa dyan, yung isa kilala ko talaga, class 97, and I told you, some of the class 97 is involved, 96 is involved, but there are a lot, most of class 97 and 96 are police officials na talaga magagaling. Well, in fact, 97, nauna pa kang magkapitan. May isa din, nauna pa kang magkapitan kay General Torre. And all those 96, mas mauna pa siya.
Can you mention the name?
Nauna pa naging major.
Purpose para
Pero pagdating ni Duterte, 2016, tinargahan din sa drug list. I mention now, Police, Lieutenant Colonel Ipil Dueñas, taga Iloilo po. Oh, and you check, I have now the service record of all those police officials. I'm not saying that all of those 214 na may mga kaso administratively, malilinis po. Pero let us see. Let us see all those cases, especially ngayon. Bago ng Vice Chairman ng Napolcom. Maraming iskandalo po. Some of them under duress. Napilitan pong pirmahan yung investigation because they are being pursued na nakakataas the time.
Now we have to validate that, Chairman Caraps, no? So we will be inviting those people that were under duress, if I may, Chairman Caraps. So try to mention or try to tell us or invite those people who are connected with this sort of harassment or putting them under duress, because if indeed they were compelled to sign yung pong kanilang pagpasok do sa listahan ng mga nasa drug list, then at least malaman po ng committee ito. So we'll be asking you to mention or to invite those personalities. Siguro kay General Torre, no? Yung pong well, si IDG po kayo ngayon, di po ba? And are you conducting several investigation pertaining to all these cases ng mga kapulisan po natin na may kaso right now? But before you proceed, no, that you would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Paulo Ortega of La Union and Congressman Bambi Amano of Misamis Oriental. Welcome, sir. Sige, go ahead, General.
Sir, what we are looking at right now are the cold cases suspected to be on the EJK, sir, yung offshoot ng ating EJK investigation in the previous hearings. So, as of the moment, based on the priority, sir, wala pa yung mga cases ng police na namatay under mysterious circumstances na minention ni Congressman Paduano, sir. But it will be included eventually, sir, pag matapos namin ang mga priority cases, sir.
Okay, thank you, General. Yung mga namatay, magkano binibigay po natin dito? Like, for example, ito, 312 yung namatay, eh. So, magkano po ang, kasi yung nasugatan, lahat po ba yan? Nakatanggap ng 100,000? Lahat ba? Siguro sa DPRM.
Yes, sir. Ang benefit po ng isang killed in police operations, we have under the law, Republic Act 6963. Ito po, sir, yung 6 months na salary yung ibibigay sa kanya. Kung baga, sir, in-extend yung buhay niya at masusweldohan siya ng 6 months. So, yun po, sir, ang
So, 6 months na sweldo.
Opo, sir.
Pag namatay.
Pag namatay, sir.
Pag nasugatan, magkano?
Yung hospitalization expenses po, sir. Yan lang po, sir. Yung
Hindi, kanina kasi may sinabi si Sergeant Petras, di ba? Na nakatanggap siya ng 100,000. Sa hospitalization yun?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sa hospitalization yun.
The 100,000 came from the Comprehensive Social Benefits Program under EO 11.
So kasama na yung hospitalization doon.
Basta 100, hindi sir, iba pa yung, kasi iba itong benefit niya ng 100,000, iba yung reimbursement ng hospitalization
Okay,
expenses.
separate. Separate yun.
Opo, sir.
Okay, sa namatayan, magkano ang binibigay natin? 6 months. Di ba? At sa mga nakasuhan, kanya-kanya.
Tama po, sir.
Kanya-kanya.
sir.
Ayun ang problem. Ay, sige, BC, the new Vice Chairman of NAPOLCOM, Attorney Ricardo Bernabe. Congratulations and you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may just add lang po, no, yun po kasing death benefits to the killed in action ng mga policemen, under po yun ng NAPOLCOM. So, meron po kami yung mga benefits na binibigay sa kanila. Ito po yung gratuity, lump sum po ng 1 year salary. And then, meron po silang burial expense na 3 months salary. And then po yung monthly pension and medical reimbursement of the actual medical expenses with actual receipts. So yun pong mga wounded naman po na nag-result sa...
Rico, ano to 1 year salary doon sa mga namatay?
Yes po, sir.
At monthly pension.
Yes, monthly pension.
And then?
And then meron pong burial expense na equivalent po ng 3 months salary.
Okay.
And then medical reimbursement po of the actual medical expenses supported by official receipts.
Yung may mga kaso.
Yung mga, hindi po, ito po yung mga death po.
Yung mga tayo sa may kaso.
Wala po.
Oo nga eh. Ano lang to, sa mga nasugatan, saka sa namatay.
Yes, pero Mr. Chair, yung wounded po, ito po yung naging permanent disability. Pag po yung mga wounded lang, wala rin po sa NAPOLCOM.
But yun nga, so, kasi yung policy ng former government is to help, di ba? Those sagot kasi eh, di ba? Yun ang pronouncement ng ating pong dating Pangulo that tutulungan. But yung ang tinatanong po namin, kasi we need to find out the data, no? Kasi yun ang gusto na po natin para klaro po tayo. Huwag tayo maakusahan dito. So, doon sa mga may kaso na 214, 398 na kasalukuyan may kaso at 195 na natanggal, wala tayong tinutulong sa legal expenses.
Under NAPOLCOM po, Mr. Chair, wala po kami yung legal fund that no assistance given.
No assistance.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Sige, Chairman Barbers, please.
matanong ko lang din sa PNP, no, kung sa NAPOLCOM, wala only on medical, no? Medical expenses. Kumbaga may reimbursement, may burial, but nothing on the legal, no? Okay. So what about the PNP? Do you have an item in your budget na merong for legal assistance dun sa mga police officers that are charged administratively and or criminally? So meron po ba kayong legal assistance fund dyan?
Sir, there is a certain amount allocated for the PNP legal assistance, but this is really not enough to cover all the PNP personnel facing service-related cases, sir.
Would you know how much is the figure of the legal assistance fund?
Sir, based from the information provided to me, sir, there is an allocation of 200 million for legal assistance for the DILG family, sir.
DILG.
DILG family, sir.
So kasama dyan ang BJMP, Bureau of Fire.
Yes, sir. All agencies attached to the DILG, sir.
So there's no particular budget for the PNP. Kumbaga, ang magkano doon sa 200 million, magkano yung napupunta sa PNP? Kasi yung, hindi naman sa ano, no, yung members naman ng Bureau of Fire, Bureau of Jail, eh, hindi naman napapa-enkwentro yun. Di ba? Though, sometimes they also get entangled in a legal battle because of the performance of their duties, but more on the police eh. So sa police, magkano yung allocation for legal, ano niya dyan?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we have to check first, sir. We'll give feedback later, sir.
Sige, thank you. Kasi that's the reason why I asked that, Mr. Chair, is because when the war against drugs was implemented, this was perhaps the only time where more than or a sufficient or a significant number of police officers and personnel were charged administratively, and some of them were already dismissed. So maybe wala ho kasing abogadong tumulong, wala ho silang nakuhang abogadong magaling. So in this particular issue, Mr. Chair, a 200 million budget for the whole DILG family for legal services is not enough, considering the number of those that have been charged administratively and criminally. Kung i-divide mo yung 200 million dun sa
195 na may mga natanggal at 398 na may mga kaso.
i-total mo lahat yan, divide mo by 200 million, lumalabas lang yan na ilang libong piso lang ang kanilang, gumawa ka lang ng affidavit, may bayad sa abogado. Okay lang sana kung si Attorney Rico, libre ito, pro bono. No, di ba? Halimbawa, si Attorney Atcharon, libre rin yan, pro bono rin yan. So, what I'm trying to emphasize, Mr. Chair, is that if we are indeed serious in helping the PNP, lakihan natin yung budget ng legal services ng PNP. Para hindi rin po matakot yung ating mga kapulisan o yung kawani ng PNP na lumaban. Kasi alam nyo, yung mga kalaban nila, drug lords yan eh. May mga pera yan eh. At tatawa-tawanan lang tayo niyan kung ang ating kukuning abogado para sa ating PNP, yung hindi kagaya na abogado ni Attorney Atcharon na de Campanilla. So I guess, no, Mr. Chair, that when we try to propose budget for the PNP legal services, no, specific, yung 200 million na yan, baka nga kulangin pa yun kung PNP lang eh. So I'd like to ask the COMSEC to take note of that manifestation in order that this should have a place in our committee report so that when we recommend, sana ma-consider ng ating DBM. Yun lang,
Mr. Chair. Related lang, Mr. Chair. Because, okay lang, Congressman Atcharon? Okay lang.
But I yield to the younger Attorney Atcharon, but
Congressman, please.
Mr. Chair, related to Chair Barber's concern, I'm more concerned of the medical expenses naman, Mr. Chair. If how much the PNP has for their medical expenses, and if may limit ba, Mr. Chair, dun sa medical na tulong nila eh. Unlimited. Kasi PhilHealth, they have a baseline eh.
Yes,
For
General
PNP, maybe no, Mr. Chair.
DPRM, please.
Yes, sir. Meron pong limit. I'll just check, sir, yung exact amount para masigurado ko sa sagot ko, sir. I'll just get the exact amount.
Yeah, and getting the exact amount, Mr. Chair, would that be later or would it be...
Now, sir. I-check ko lang ito.
Because I remember, Mr. Chair, during the time when I was governor of Misamis Oriental and PD Balones was my provincial director,
And every time that that we had challenges with our members of the Philippine National Police, Philippine National Police helps them with their funds, but sometimes kulang. So ang ginagawa namin, so we charge it to the peace and order funds of the provincial capital po. So that's what I want to know, if kung kulang, so that we'll be able to help them craft a law that hopefully, Mr. Chair, that will extend, expand, increase the medical expenses without limits, Mr. Chair, especially if done in line with their duty, Mr. Chair. Okay, thank you so much, Ayan, pinalakpakan ka na. At bawal pumalakpak, pero hayaan natin yun. No? At malaking, yan. And that's the reason why we are conducting this hearing, para malaman natin, kasi it was advised to us by the Speaker to find out yung mga kailangang idagdag sa ating pong PNP organization para kapag nagkaroon po ng bicameral committee hearing na po ang Senado at ang Kongreso, may pasok po natin itong tulong sa mga kapulisan natin that were also victimized by the war on drugs. But Congressman Acheron?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.